little bit of a sad post. Abhi, you're leaving us, aren't you?
I am.
What's going on?
For good reasons. I'm about to join Ollie and go racing in AHRMA, the iconic race team.
There you go. I love that.
Yeah. The guy's got the van wash for me, which is very kind.
Yep.
What a good looking machine. Let's check out what we got inside. 3 bikes, actually. So 2 of them are what I'm racing. The 175 for the Moto Le Mans class, where you do the Le Mans start. Behind that, my Kramer for Sound of Singles 1. And then in the back, Bruno kindly has just loaded up my monkey, which I'm going to use, or technically my girlfriend's monkey, which I'm going to use as a pit bike to get around, because we're going to be there for a few days. But, and you don't know this yet, I also am packing a fourth and final thing. Sorry to make you walk around. You sadly can't join for this one. You've got some family things to attend to, which I understand. But I've got the next best thing. I'm bringing Supertron. Our old business partner Vic had this made. So a bobblehead of Adam, and you're gonna love this.
That's so funny.
There's a perfect, check that out.
Oh, look at
There's
that.
a perfect spot.
There you go. It's almost like I'm there with you. Oh, look at that.
Join me on the trip. So
I love that.
You'll be there in spirit when we do AHRMA. So
that's so funny. I love it. Well, I'll be sending us a lot of videos and stuff from Laguna Seca. We wish him the best of luck. Have fun, man.
Thank you, buddy.
See you in a few days.
Sounds good. There's a bit of a line here for registration. We got here early, so we got to wait a little bit before we can get checked in for the AHRMA racing. So what I'm going to do is just take a little walk with you and show off some of my favorite bikes that I see here in line with us. This CBR 250RR you may remember from one of Adam's videos last year when we were here at Laguna Seca. This is a wonderful client named BJ who's over there talking to Ted right now. He's got an NSF 250R and this CBR 250RR, the one that revs to the moon. What else we got here? We got this gentleman. What class is this again? Middleweight superbike?
Vintage superbike middleweight.
There you go. GPZ 550. What a beauty. All right. Oh yeah. Look forward to seeing it out there, man.
Yeah.
And then we've got this beautiful 1988 Suzuki Gixxer 750. All kinds of gorgeous Yoshimura parts on it. The exhaust. It's aluminum covered here. The owner knocked out the seam at the bottom of the tank to make it lower profile. And then look at that fill system up there. Another highlight, he braced the swing arm himself. Everett Power Sports, you should check him out. Came down from Washington State. And not only does he have this beauty, there's some other stuff in that trailer that hopefully I'll be able to show you in a little bit. Here's our home for the next few days, garage number 7. Come and see us. We got Ted, Ollie, and myself here. Ted's R1, my Kramer, my 175, and Ollie's 250s, the 4-stroke NSF, and the 2-stroke TZ. Oh, complete with the Yosh and HRC mask. Look how fancy this guy is. Okay. So he's setting up his wizardry table over there. We also just met our neighbor Kevin over here. Kevin's cool.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, buddy. Kevin is racing this really cool Ducati Monster 937. Look at this beauty. So as you can see here, he also competes in Super Hooligan class at Moto America. But for AHRMA, he's going to be racing Sound of Thunder. So that's cool. And bonus points because Kevin's going to be helping out with the new racer school that all 3 of us are going to be participating in. So we're going to get plenty of Kevin over the next few days. Looking forward to it, man. All right, I think I'm basically set up in my garage, so I'm going over and checking out what other garages have to feature. And this fine gentleman over here, who happens to know Jamie James, had some cool stories about that, but he was kind enough to let me check this out. I mean, look at this. A couple of Honda NSF 250s in these gorgeous Marlboro racing liveries. Man, I know the cigarette liveries got banned, but they just have the best looking paint jobs. This one, so the Marlboro is actually all paint, which is pretty impressive. This YZ here, TZ250 here has been wrapped, and it's got a bunch of YEC kit parts on it. Oh, and then there you go, GP Tech. That's cool, Jeff Maloney. All right, but there's some incredible stuff here in this garage, but you gotta give it up to this, a Suter MMX 500. This will be one of the bikes that Ollie races against in open 2-stroke, and I'm sure he's really excited about that. We've sold one of these, actually a couple of these, or we sold one twice, I should say, over at Iconic, and this is pretty fantastic. Not only is there one Suitor MMX 500 over here, bam, this is going to be a very good weekend. The fine folks at Boulder Motorsports always bring some cool stuff to AHRMA at Laguna, and today is no exception. They are the go-tos for Pure Bond in the US, and they're proving it this weekend. We got a Pure Bond X60R here, another Pure Bond X60R, Kramer GP2, Pure Bond X80R, and I apologize that I'm blowing by some incredible bikes, but you'll see why in just a moment, because I want to focus on what's hanging out here at the end. You ready? Yeah, Ducati Supermoto. I cannot believe this is here. I don't know if it's just for display or if they're actually going to track this thing and sound as singles. They're kind of finished setting up, and I think people are inside. I'm not going to, I'll figure out soon enough and report back. But yeah, there is a Ducati Supermoto here at AHRMA. Number 18 there. And my God, I cannot wait to hear this thing fire up. Let me come around on this side. There you go. Early contender, but that's definitely looking like my favorite bike from this event. And then of course, my Monkey, a close second, using as a pit bike to get around and show you some cool stuff. Let's keep it going. I showed off this bike briefly earlier, but Tom's here with his bike, and I just was hoping you could share some cool stuff about what's going on with this GPZ.
So after getting on the track a couple of years ago on a stock Ninja 300, I'm hanging out with the other old guys that we're in our 60s now, and they're like, you got to get a vintage superbike. And so this is the next step up, being on a 550 instead of the thousands like they're riding. And it's really not a hindrance because it's not as wide. I can get more lean angle, I can carry more corner speed, so I keep up with them.
Yeah.
Well, the mid-pack, I keep up with the mid-pack.
There you go.
Not the fast guys.
How many times have you raced this bike now?
I've been racing this, this will be my third season.
Fantastic. So obviously it's a Kawasaki GPZ 550. What year is it?
GPZ 550, 1981. Wow. To race in CSRA and CVSB with AFM, I got to have 2 shocks.
Okay.
Not a mono shock.
Right.
Mike Norman at G-Force just freshened up the top end. All the work went into the head, the cams, making it breathe.
That's so cool, man. Well, okay, and what class are you gonna be racing for people to check you out?
I'm gonna be racing vintage superbike middleweight and Formula Vintage.
Perfect.
When
We'll
I'm
see you
in
out there.
Formula Vintage, I'm racing with the guy on the thousands again, so that'll be a good time. But
okay.
it's a fun bike, and it keeps me feeling younger than my 60 years old.
Well, hey, that's awesome, man. Thank
and
you.
if I can do it, anybody can. Get your ass out here.
Love it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tom. Appreciate it.
Hey, nice meeting.
Okay, so we were walking by this whole stretch of people here. This whole thing, you can see a group of riders together from the Seattle area, and a lot of my competition in the 175s. But the reason that we're focusing here is this fine gentleman, Tim, who will be racing a 175, that one here, and his wife is going to race that one there. But he had this Kawasaki KR1 that Ollie, Ted, and I we had to stop at, and thankfully he was willing to share a little bit about it, and I thought it'd be cool if he could tell you guys. Tim, can you take it away, sir?
Sure. It's a 1988 Kawasaki KR250B1. Pretty low production number, so probably made within the first couple of months of production for Kawasaki in 1988 out of Japan. I bought it, oddly enough, at a bike show, probably about 2016, 2017. It was just kind of a nice rider, and rode it for a couple of years, and we were coming back from the vintage event, and I lost a crank seal on it, so I had to take the engine apart to fix that, and in the process I bought a vapor blaster and started buying new old stock Kawasaki parts. By the time I was done with the engine, it looked absolutely as though Kawasaki had made it this morning. And then I turned around and looked at the chassis and realized I had a little bit of work to do on the chassis to make it match the engine, so this is the end result, is pretty much as close to a new old stock 1988 Kawasaki KR1 as I could possibly get. I think if you were to buy one in 1988, walk into the Kawasaki showroom, this is what you would have seen. It's pretty much looked exactly like this. There's almost no deviations from OEM and a lot of new old stock parts. New old stock black chrome expansion chambers, lots of new old stock body work. The bike is almost all original paint except for the tank, and it runs and rides like you can't believe. This thing is a rocket. It's literally a race bike for the street.
Thank you so much. Again, there's lots of cool bikes here this weekend, but this definitely caught our eyes, so we do appreciate you sharing a little bit about this. And then I think you're going to put this into the show that they're having this weekend, correct?
Yeah, that's why I drug it down. I thought I'd enter it in the show that I think will be right across the road here. And
there you go. So if anyone's out here at Laguna and they're going to check out the show that Brady Walker's doing with Moto Talbot, you can check out this KR1 in person yourself. Thank you, Tim. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Time for tech inspections. We've already got ours done, but I figured this is a good excuse to show you some cool bikes that are in line, including this FC750 that we saw yesterday. You've been racing this since what, 1995 you said?
95.
95, yeah. God, that's cool. All right, let's see what else is in line here. Hey gentlemen, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. I kind of mentioned you were hiding something in your trailer. So this is the you said RS125 with a CRF 450 motor, right? 70 horsepower, 180 pounds.
Yep.
That is gonna rip. And then a kind of sister bike, slipper clutch, quick shifter, got it. Look at that. All right, again, the man over at Everett Power Sports, check him out. All right, let's see what else we got. I'm gonna go around you.
No, I already told you that. Go with that.
Oh, wow, Dave Roper.
Hey, man.
Hey.
That's what I told him. I believe you. Right, stop. Go ahead, come back. No, you gotta come back to this line.
Oh, right here? Just hang out with you guys?
Oh, yeah. You can slower than me, just so you know.
Okay, I got it on camera now.
You got it on camera?
Yeah, I got. You gotta back it up now.
I can't, but I can talk to you. He's like, slow like that.
Hey. Good. Moto Le Mans class?
Yep.
CV175?
Yep.
That's cool. I'll see you out there.
Are you on a bike?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, same one. Same,
right
same
on.
time. Much worse than yours, but same time. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I called you and talked to
C1R.
you once. I was wanting to
Very cool
send
stuff.
a bike over
There you go.
to Philip Island.
The line keeps on growing, but Nick DeSena over at Ultimate Motorcycling, ruining videos as always. But there you go. So that's a little peek at people lining up for tech, and then we've actually already got our tech done because we got to start with the new racer school in just a few minutes. I'll show you how that goes.